graduations of challenging length. So my remarks here will be guided by the wisdom of John Witherspoon, who was the only clergyman to sign the Declaration of Independence. And he said, "Never rise to speak until you have something to say. And when you have said it, cease." I will try to comply with that wise wisdom. I bring you greetings from the future community that you join here today. Not one of you achieved the degree that you will receive today on your own. You had the help and support of your family or your spouse, your significant other, in some cases your children. That help and support allowed you to concentrate on your medical career. That support is and has been critical to your success. Now you are a doctor. Your days will be taken up with the treatment of patients, continuing education, raising your family, coping with new and challenging changes that are being forced through the healthcare system. I'm here representing the podiatric community into which you graduate today. I direct our state Podiatric Medical Association that counts as its members 85% of the licensees in Pennsylvania. We're a component of the American Podiatric Medical Association, which counts, again, about 80% of the podiatrists in the country. There are only 14,000 podiatrists in the nation. One of the strengths that we have as the Pennsylvania component of the APMA is that we have such a huge number of our graduates as our members. In comparison to that, the AMA has fallen under 20%. There are 800,000 MDs and DOs in the United States. They have 190,000 in the AMA, and yet it is still the voice of medicine. Ours has to be the voice of podiatric medicine, and we can only do that through the number and the strength of people that join us. As your association, it's our job to advocate for your profession in the halls of the state legislature, guide various departments that have regulatory authority over you, work with the Hospital Association and the Medical Society, do battle with the various insurance companies over both rates that you're paid and the procedures you can perform, supply professional liability to you through an insurance program that we operate for podiatric physicians. And today we're modeling accountable care organizations in order to present the alternatives to you for practice under the Patient Protection and Accountable Care Act. Besides those efforts, we give you a community into which you belong. You're joining a small profession. No matter where you choose to practice, you will quickly meet and get to know the podiatric physicians in your community. They'll be able to give you the information and support and introductions that you will need for your growing practices. As the Pennsylvania Podiatric Medical Association, we are a component of the APMA. I leave you with a single thought. While we are a small profession, we are a very strong profession and a very politically active and effective profession. As you leave the protection of this great university, it's up to you to begin to contribute your time and your voice to the profession that you have chosen. I ask that you join the APMA and your state component wherever you end up if you're unwise enough to leave Pennsylvania. As they say in the movies, we've got your back. In today's medical environment, as the government begins to exert more influence on your professional life, you'll need somebody in that capacity. We give you the support that allows you to do what you do best, which is practice the profession and treat your patients. Congratulations to you, and welcome into the family that is podiatric medicine. Thank you.
And I am chairman of your board of visitors. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to have the opportunity to introduce to you the gentleman who will give the graduation speech for this year's class, Harold David Schoenhaus. Dr. Schoenhaus and I have been very close personal friends and professional colleagues for the past 41 years. He is an innovator, an inventor, a researcher, an author, a leader, and a master surgeon. Few individuals at the Temple University School of Podiatric Medicine have made the scholastic and clinical impact that this giant of our profession has. Harold is a graduate of the Temple School in 1970. He did his residency education in foot and ankle surgery at Parkview Hospital in Philadelphia, the same hospital I trained in. Very fortunately, we received classical training from Dr. Andrew Newman, an orthopedic surgeon, and this has stood the test of time for us. He is a full professor at Temple University School of Podiatric Medicine and a faculty member here for 40 years. He is past chairman of the Department of Orthopedics and Surgery at our school. He is a past president of the American College of Foot and Ankle Surgeons. Harold and I spent 7 years together on that organization, both of us serving as president, and hopefully making a very positive and long-lasting impact on foot and ankle surgery, on the foot and ankle surgical community of our nation, and in fact, internationally. Harold is board certified by the American Board of Podiatric Surgery and the American Board of Podiatric Orthopedics and Medicine. He's a fellow of the American College of Foot and Ankle Surgeons and the American Board of Podiatric Orthopedics and Medicine. He is a member of the National Academy of Practice. He is past chief of foot and ankle surgery at the Graduate Hospital in Philadelphia. He is a current member of the Board of Visitors of the Temple University School of Podiatric Medicine. He is the current surgical editor for Present eSystem. He is a consultant to DePuy and Wright Medical and is the current podiatric medical director of the Penn Presbyterian Wound Care Center. He has received the Teacher of the Year award on 10 different occasions at TUSPM. His hospital affiliations include, some of these hospitals are closed, Parkview, Rolling Hill, he was residency director there, JFK, he was chief of foot and ankle surgery, Cooper Hospital in Camden, he is an attending there, Metropolitan, where he was an attending, that hospital is closed, Graduate Hospital, he was the chief of foot and ankle surgery, and at Penn Presbyterian, he is podiatric director of the wound care and a full attendant. Without further ado, it is my honor to introduce my dear friend Harold Schoenhaus to give the graduation address.
I apologize for that lengthy introduction. I'm somewhat embarrassed by it, quite frankly. Dean John Mariachi, Chairman and members of the Board of Trustees, the Board of Visitors and the Foundation Board, honored faculty and staff, family and friends of the graduates, and most of all, members of the class of 2011. It is with great pleasure that I have the opportunity to share my thoughts with the most highly educated class of podiatric physicians of the 21st century. You have worked extremely hard and diligently to achieve this accolade, but the journey is not over. Your achievements will enable you to advance your training through residency and fellowship programs. These also have become the most advanced and sophisticated educational educational opportunities to produce the most skilled and knowledgeable podiatric physicians to meet the challenges of the ever-growing patient population. 45 years ago, I entered the Pennsylvania College of Podiatric Medicine with an eagerness to learn and infectious enthusiasm. I felt like an empty sponge, ready to absorb every bit of information along the journey to graduation. I was young and impressionistic, and gained confidence as the years leading to graduation crept by. Yes, there were times when I felt overwhelmed by the exhausting curriculum and exams, especially the pathomechanics quizzes. At graduation in 1970, I felt on top of the world, fully prepared to enter residency and continue my journey to become a medical provider. How exciting to utilize my education, hone my residency skills, and enter the world of patient care. I feel your excitement. It is contagious. Never let it go. As I turn the clock ahead 41 years, I can look back at a career in podiatric medicine and podiatry that could never have been achieved in any area of medicine. Podiatry has afforded the opportunity of educational advancement, surgical expertise, political affiliation, and most importantly, improving the quality of life of thousands and thousands of patients. Decisions will be made in your professional life as to which pathway you wish to follow. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Are you ready to move forward? The demands of our aging population will fill your offices with challenging patients, requiring the care of qualified and competent podiatric physicians. It is predicted by the year 2040, 1 out of every 2 births may result in diabetes. Right now, 10% of the population, 30 million people, are diabetic. The role of podiatric physicians in this population alone is challenging and most rewarding. The highest incidence of lower extremity amputations is in the diabetic, a great many of which can be prevented by diligent podiatric services and patient education. Healthcare costs are out of control, and an amputation of one leg will cost thousands and thousands of dollars in post-amputation sequelae, not only to the other leg through functional demands, but also on other systems such as cardiovascular and pulmonary. Are you ready to deal with this responsibility? As podiatric physicians, the opportunity to treat patients of all ages is the ability to select an area of excitement to you, from pediatrics to geriatrics, sports medicine, palliative care, diabetes, wound care management, biomechanical abnormalities, congenital deformities, arthritis,